Chris James is the name. Talking wrestling is the game. What's going on, wrestling fans? Let's talk wrestling about last night's Elimination Chamber. First and foremost, I want to talk about the biggest match of the night, the best match of the night. I'm lying. Kurt Hawkins and Mojo on the pre-show was just, I would have gotten all my, whatever I was getting that night. My t-shirts, my popcorn, my soda, my beer, whatever anybody wanted next to me, that would have been the bathroom run. The pay-per-view wasn't crazy, but I say that because this match, there's other things going on SmackDown that could have been, I get it, I like, Kurt Hawkins had 3 months of vignettes and comes in and loses every stinking match. Mojo's Mojo, poor Zach got hurt. And they mentioned that on the pre-show, too, after the match. Booker T said Zack Ryder was kind of holding back Mojo. So expect Zack Ryder to come back. And when he does come back a heel and go after Mojo for becoming a bigger star than he ever was when he was saddled to Zack Ryder in the Hype Bros. And Mojo will play the babyface, and he's over with the crowd. I mean, he gets a reaction. He does. And that's what they look for. And he stays hyped, right? I guess. I mean, he ran the ropes after the match a good 5-6 times and slid out the ring. I thought he was going to jump into the crowd. He definitely has the enthusiasm, but I just think it was a waste of a match. I would have rather watched Sam Roberts and Renee and Booker talk about what was going to happen last night. But anyway, let's jump into the main card finally, because these pre-shows being an hour long, it gets me pumped. I don't know about you guys. The video packages back in the days used to be way better, but yeah, I guess, give or take. So the main card kicks off with Becky Lynch and Mickie James, and I thought that was a mistake. I thought they should have kicked off with the tag titles, but whatever. The crowd really wasn't that into this match. I don't know why. Poor Becky Lynch kind of got over as champion, but now she's starting to fall flat. She really has no momentum. Mickie James is back. Fans like me, casual fans today's WWE fans might not know who she is. She's been in TNA for a long time. But she's a fantastic female wrestler. But this match just seemed boring. And it's part of my gripe about last night. This match, as well as every other match, you're going to hear me say the crowd didn't seem into it. If I go to a WWE event, I don't feel like I'm part of the show where I'm going to try to hijack it. But I'm definitely going to try my best to help the match get along. And, that's pretty much your role there. You entertain yourself by getting into the story or the match itself. But Becky Lynch picked up the win with a roll-up. Mickie James dominated this entire match, which surprised me. I thought it would be a little more competitive, but it wasn't. But it seems like this story's gonna move on down the road a little more, because the way Mickie lost and Becky Lynch, and we'll see what happens. I don't think they'll definitely have another match on SmackDown before WrestleMania. We have the whole month of March to go. Next up was Dolph Ziggler versus Apollo Cruz and Kalisto, and again, this match, I thought, why this match? Why not just a one-on-one? How do you have the bad guy, Dolph Ziggler, in a handicap match against two good guys? And then have the good guys, supposedly they're going to double team the bad guy. Well, Kalisto got taken out early. Dolph attacked him, put him on the shelf for a little bit. But of course, he made the hero's return and tried to help Apollo Cruz. To tell you the truth, my network completely lagged. So by the time I got back, the next match was starting. Not sure who won. Really didn't care. That's what I mean. Had it been a one-on-one, I would have been more into it. I want Apollo Cruz to get more shine, more time. Kalisto needs to be in the Cruiserweight division. He doesn't need to be on SmackDown. And it won't hurt SmackDown if they lose Kalisto. Oh, but I did see Dolph Ziggler attack Apollo Cruz and Kalisto after the match and snapped Apollo Cruz's ankle with the chair, and it got a reaction. But again, the crowd seemed dead during this match too. Ziggler has I think he needs to completely reinvent himself. The show off just isn't getting over anymore. Fans seem like they're growing tired of Dolph Ziggler. I'm personally not, but he did get some reactions. I mean, when you're beating down Apollo Crews with a chair and Kalisto with a chair, little poor Kalisto, he's like this tall, and I'm sitting down, and the fans are cheering one more time with the chair. Then he snapped his leg, they cheer. He's getting a reaction. So, is that enough to get Dolph maybe an Intercontinental title shot down the road somewhere again? Or maybe a tag team? Maybe put him in a tag team? I don't know. But people are starting to not care about Dolph Ziggler anymore. And it pisses me off that they don't care about Apollo Crews or Kalisto. Which is why Kalisto belongs in the Cruiserweight division for sure. Next match. Tag Team Turmoil. And I was excited for this match. I like the SmackDown Tag Team division. Again, what I didn't like was Heath Slater and Rhino being first, I believe, American Alpha, or at least second or third. You know, American Alpha and Heath Slater and Rhino, I believe they should have started the match. Have the two faces go at it. It's weird. It's different. Oh no, what's gonna happen? And have American Alpha go over the good guys first, and then have an uphill climb all the way through. Instead, they had Heath Slater and Rhino beat Breezango, and I believe they beat the Vaudevillains. So, and then the Usos came out, and then the Usos beat Heath Slater and Rhino. Then all American Alpha had to do, well, I know this side, all they had to do was beat the Usos and the Ascension, but the Usos lost. They got pinned, and then they attacked American Alpha after the bout, as usual, before the Ascension even came out. The Ascension were, I think they still are, the longest reigning NXT Tag Team Champions ever. They were dominating when NXT first started gaining some speed and as the Tag Team Champions down there. And they came up to the main roster and have been completely, since they made that LOD remark, that Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors remark, they have been... And last night was even worse for them. So American Alpha's laid out by the Usos. The Ascension comes out, pretty much hit their Fall of Man move on Jason Jordan. And then Connor rolls under the ring, or Victor rolls under the ring as Connor makes the pin. And I don't know what he did, but Gable came from the other side and stopped the 3 count. Ascension was made to look horrible last night. Of course, American Alpha retains the SmackDown Tag Team titles. And after the event, during Talking Smack, they asked American Alpha what their dream WrestleMania opponents would be, their dream match. And they both said to main event WrestleMania, but they didn't say against who. Well, what do you do? Where do you go from here? A new tag team has to be made on SmackDown. The Revival. Enter the Revival. Trust me, I know everybody, they need to be on... No, they don't need to be on Raw. Raw has enough going on. SmackDown needs talent right now, and they need the Revival to revive the SmackDown Tag Team division because it's floundering with the same old stuff every week in every pay-per-view now. The Wyatt family kind of made it exciting, but then they dropped the belts to American Alpha. Next matchup, Mickie versus Natalya. And it was a good one. It was, again, the crowd wasn't that into it. There were spots where there should have been a reaction from the crowd, and it was dead. Like, I thought there was going to be a boring chant at one point. I really did. And that doesn't do justice to how that match was. It did progress a little slow in the beginning, but they were working into it, and Natty was dominating. She was supposed to be made to look like she was the better wrestler. She is the better wrestler. But Nikki Bella had a counter for everything and a hold for everything. Even some submissions in the beginning. She tried an armbar, a horrible transition into an armbar. She kind of slowly stepped over her arm, slowly rolled, and didn't have the power in her legs to flip Natalya over. It wasn't, I don't know. So Nikki was pretty sloppy last night and slow. But it started picking up. It started getting exciting. Natalya and the sharpshooter. Nikki fights out. Nikki hits that forearm where she just cracks. I don't know how the girls or the women let her do that. She cracks them in the mouth. I mean, almost every single time I've seen her throw that forearm, she bop, Yeah, so, and a 2 count. It started getting good. The crowd started getting into it, and then double count out. This story will go on. I know there's been rumors of Nikki Bella and John Cena facing off against Maurice and Miz at WrestleMania, and we did see some flurries maybe or of that. That story could be brewing because there was an attack backstage, and Nikki Bella and Natalya were fighting again backstage. This time, I guess Maurice was powdering her nose. Oui, si, oui, la la. And Nikki bumped into her, and the powder went everywhere in Nikki's face. And then she went poof like that. It was just funny the way the dust was flying everywhere. The referees separate Nikki and Natalya. Anyway, I don't know where they go from here with Nikki and Natalya because the feud's not over yet. We need a definitive end to this feud before Nikki Bella goes into WrestleMania. If it's her last WrestleMania, will she go out wrestling Natalya? You know, they go back. She's helped Nikki a lot. Natalya doesn't get enough credit for building the women's division, what we see in the WWE. She pretty much trains. I mean, I know Sarah Del Rey and the girls down in the Performance Center and all of them. And I'm not taking any credit away from them, but it seems like Natalya grooms these girls when they get to the main roster, or she's been there such a long time, and she's a heart. And all respect to that family because it is a family of wrestling, and that's what they do. It's in their blood. So I don't know where they go from here with this story. I'm into it. I'm not gonna say I'm not. I'm into it. I wish Tyson Kidd could come back. I really do, but I'd be petrified for him. I know he's probably chomping at the bits to get back in the ring. My heart broke for the dude. It really, really did. Just a freak accident. And bring the Tyson Kidd and John Cena. Could you imagine Natalya and Tyson Kidd tag teaming in a WrestleMania? His last match ever against John Cena and Nikki Bella. John Cena's last WrestleMania before he becomes a full-time part-timer. So I don't know, but all prayers to TJ still, Tyson Kidd. And I hope to see him back in the ring one day. We'll see where they go from here. Next up, Luke Harper and Randy Orton. What a match. Oh, my God. Luke Harper was made last night. A made man. The commentary was putting him over. Speaking of commentary, David Otunga needs to go. But anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. This match was great. And the crowd was finally pumped up about something. They were into it the entire match. There was this is awesome chants, holy shit chants, superplexes, back body drops on backside suplexes on tables, stairs and posts and boots and punches. And I thought Luke Harper was going to win this match, and Randy Orton RKO out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3. I know they didn't want Randy Orton to lose to Luke Harper because he's the #1 contender going into WrestleMania. But I really think Luke Harper, I mean, he kind of won without winning. So I guess, I don't know. But I just think Luke really needed that win against Randy. Again, a definitive, solid win. And he didn't get it. But then the night got even better. I'll tell you about that right after these messages. No, just kidding. There's no messages here. No commercials on Let's Talk Wrestling, and absolutely no gimmicks needed. As always, no gimmicks needed on Let's Talk Wrestling. Naomi and Alexa Bliss for the SmackDown Women's title. Naomi has been there for a long time. She was a Funkadactyl. We all know how that went. But once she got in the ring and started wrestling, I always knew. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Last night, Naomi defeated Alexa Bliss for the women's title. And I don't want to talk about the couple of mistakes they made during the match. I don't. I saw them too. It upset me too. But overall, it was a good match. I would give it a B-. If I was giving it a letter grade. I would give it a 6 out of 10, or I'd give it a 7 out of 10 if I was giving it a number grade. But Naomi deserved that. And last night when she won that belt and the fans chanted, "You deserve this," and she started crying, I can admit, Chris James can admit that I got a little choked up. I didn't cry, but I got a little choked up. The match overall was good. Like I said, it was good. Alexa Bliss has been a good champion. I know I saw a tweet from JD from NY206, who I admire and look up to, and he just opens, like, I don't know, he's just a great analyst and a great commentator on the world of professional wrestling. He's awesome. He said that the 2-month reign of Alexa Bliss is bullshit. That their champions don't hold the belt long anymore. And Becky won that belt, and I really thought Becky Lynch was going to be champion going into WrestleMania. And then they threw the curveball to give Alexa Bliss the title, maybe just to give it to Naomi. But why not just have Becky and Naomi go at it? Did they not want Naomi to be a heel? I don't think she would have been booed in a feud with Becky Lynch. I think Becky Lynch would have ended up being the one who got less cheers or no cheers and booed even. Again, like I said earlier in the first match, she doesn't really connect huge with the crowd. She doesn't. Naomi does. This whole Feel the Glow movement, if you go on Instagram and see these little girls, how they dress up like her and want to dance like her, they're onto something here. And they've always been onto something with Naomi. They just never knew it. Her heel turn years ago, I thought she was going to get it then. She didn't. Her comeback after she got hurt, she gets the huge babyface pop. She doesn't get the title. But that was during the Women's Revolution when all that stuff was going on. Her run with Tamina was good too. Very underrated. But last night, Naomi fulfilled a dream and won the SmackDown Women's title. Congratulations to Naomi. But it's on to the main event. The Elimination Chamber lowers down from the rafters, and the steel grates, the grating that's around the ring, that makes, or part of what makes the Elimination Chamber so brutal, so barbaric, was gone. They replaced them with mats or boards, plywood, something black. It wasn't metal grates, though. I remember back in the days, you used to hear the bam, the ching of somebody. I'll tell you what, AJ Styles, he took a move last night that if he would have took that move on the metal grates, oh man, but you see, you really don't need it because fans still gave it the same reaction. What was fun was John Cena and AJ starting the match. I thought that was good. You're in Kentucky, I believe. I believe they were last night. That's down south. AJ got the biggest pop. The babyface pop. John Cena, of course, booed. As usual. Nothing changes. So we got Wyatt and Corbin and Miz and Ambrose. AJ and John started off. Cena looked stiff last night. Probably pissed at the outcome of the match, but we'll get to that in the end. Cena didn't look like, I don't know. But AJ was controlling most of their start to the match, and again the crowd, God, they did their AJ Styles, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. And I think they got it out too fast because when Ambrose came out of the pod and he got a little pop as well, the crowd still didn't seem like they were going like it was an Elimination Chamber match. And you were going to see John Cena and Dean Ambrose because he went right after Cena. And he got a few pops. Then he climbs the pod, jumps with the elbow onto Cena off the pod. But he did I can't remember what it's called. It's the suplex. Like they pick him up in the suplex position and then he flips under and he drops AJ. And oh my, it's just AJ's so athletic and his flips are so believable. I mean, you can't tell that he's putting anything into it at all. It looked like Ambrose scooped him up and flipped him. Bam, he went on his back. And then he hits the elbow on Cena after that. Then I believe it was Bray Wyatt that came out. And now you got Ambrose, Wyatt, Styles, Cena, all in the ring going at it. Then it's The Miz and Baron Corbin. And everyone's going at it. Order of elimination really doesn't matter in this match if it's not John Cena being pinned. Well, it was down to AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, and John Cena. And those three got the crowd back into the match, so to speak, and got me back into the match. They went at it. All of a sudden, Sister Abigail out of nowhere. John Cena took a pretty big bump last night, too, when he climbed up the chamber. And AJ threw him off, and he fell back. I mean, he fell pretty hard. But Bray Wyatt pins John Cena clean, middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3. So now we're guaranteed to have a new WWE World Champion. I was happy for Bray getting sticking it to Cena a little bit. The crowd started getting into it, singing, "He's got the whole world in his hands." And Bray was feeling it. AJ was feeling it. AJ went for a Styles Clash. I didn't think he was going to get Bray up in it anyway. It didn't happen. AJ hits a springboard 450, but he lands kind of down by Wyatt's hip, torso, lower, not knees, but down there, and he hurt himself. But then he gets the pin. 1, 2. Bray Wyatt kicks out. They're exhausted at this point. AJ started the chamber match. Remember, Corbin, Miz, Ambrose, they all got eliminated. And then Cena. Now it's pretty much a one-on-one. And it's already, I don't know, a good 20, 25 minutes maybe into the match. AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm. And Bray Wyatt catches him and hits him with Sister Abigail. Now, I will say this. After the match, Bray Wyatt hits Sister Abigail and gets the 1, 2, 3. But after the match, he was yelling at Styles. He was in his face. He kind of kicked him. The way he pinned him and hit that Sister Abigail, it almost felt personal. So let me know in the comments, does anybody think that might have been personal? There's something going on between Bray Wyatt and AJ Styles. Was Bray Wyatt that happy that he finally reached the mountaintop? Now remember, this isn't the Universal title. All right? I don't care about the Universal title. I like the Universal title, but I don't care about the Universal title. It's not the #1 title in sports entertainment or in wrestling. The WWE World Championship is. And now Bray Wyatt is finally #1. Randy Orton comes out at the end to look at his leader holding the WWE title. Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble. And I guess he's going to challenge Bray Wyatt. Remember when the brands were split and if a Raw guy won, he could go after a SmackDown guy if he wanted to? If a SmackDown guy won, he could go after a Raw guy if he wanted to. Gone are those days, I guess, because it's going to be Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack after the Chamber tried to put some doubt that maybe Bray Wyatt doesn't make it to WrestleMania with the WWE title. Maybe Randy Orton will challenge somebody else. Maybe Randy Orton will do something crazy and lose his spot. Daniel Bryan was really trying to create some doubt. That's a possibility. It's going to be Randy Orton against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. So Bray Wyatt finally reaches the pinnacle of the WWE, the mountaintop. He sticks his flag at the peak to drop the belt to Orton at WrestleMania. I sure hope not. All right? I don't know what they're going, or where they're going with the end of this feud. I thought it was going to be over. They were going to start feuding when they lost the tag team titles. They didn't. They sacrificed Luke Harper, who put on the performance of his life last night against Randy Orton. Mind you, match of the night for me, Randy Orton, Luke Harper for sure. But where do they go from here now with the Viper and the Eater of Worlds? on a collision course for WrestleMania. SmackDown is entertaining. Overall, the Elimination Chamber was entertaining. You see, WWE, I feel like I go sledding with WWE. You ever go sledding? I'm from the Northeast, so we get a lot of snow over the winter. And, you know, you're a kid, you go sledding, you go down the hill, and yeah, it's exciting, but guess you're going down, buddy. Then you got to go back up. WWE seems like every time it's starting to get exciting, you're going downhill. You're going down, and it's exciting. And then something happens. You're off the sled. Now you got to walk back up the fucking boring hill. They need to be consistent. And the crowd needs to start helping. The crowd is a big part of the WWE events. And when the crowd's dead, the match is going to fall flat on television, no matter what. No matter what moves, no matter who I'm with watching. If I'm in a huge setting with people going, oh and ah. If the crowd's not going, oh and ah. I mean, it really falls flat on television. Bray Wyatt, your new WWE champion. Bray Wyatt. I was happy for him, but again, where do they go from here? Miz and Corbin looked like they were teasing, and then Corbin could go after Ambrose, get that IC title before the ladder match at WrestleMania, or does Ambrose hold the IC title all the way until WrestleMania and that now traditional ladder match for the Intercontinental title? It's WrestleMania season. It's my favorite time of year. Overall, I gotta give Elimination Chamber a C+. No, you know what? I'm sorry. I'll give it a B. A solid B, not a B- or a C+. It was good for me, and I'll give it that grade because of Naomi and Bray Wyatt finally getting their due. Is it too much, too little, too late? We shall see. Let me know in the comments what you thought of last night's Elimination Chamber. Always thanks for watching. Smash the thumbs up button. Just press it. Actually, no, don't smash it. Just press it once. Share it with your friends. You guys can talk wrestling. Try to get other people into wrestling. Tell people about Chris James and Let's Talk Wrestling. And always tell a friend to tell a friend about Let's Talk Wrestling. Oh, hell yeah!